From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a severe weather alert.
All right, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm Fred Gossett here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with an update on the severe weather threat for early this morning. As you can see, we've gone ahead and sent Kelly Rawson home for the night as the threat not completely over, but it continues to lessen and diminish as we go through the early morning. We'll switch over to graphics here and look at the watch warning map first. There's still a tornado watch in effect for southern middle Tennessee until 3 o'clock in the morning, and then until 2 a.m. here for another hour for West Tennessee and North Mississippi. You can see to the north of us with the line moving in, there are no longer any warnings. No severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings. Off to the west in the west central Mississippi and north central Mississippi, there are some severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll talk about those storms here in just a moment. There's a decent chance that while those may move across north central Mississippi into parts of Alabama, there's a reasonable chance they may stay off to the south of our area. And the storms that are starting to sink through southern middle Tennessee now, they are weakening with time, and already they're below severe limits. We'll take the Viper Live Doppler radar here, and we're zeroing in first on the Highway 412 corridor, specifically around Lewis, Murray, and Marshall counties here in Tennessee. This is where we have the line of thunderstorms sinking in now as we get into the 1 a.m. hour. Thunderstorm stretch here from near the Hampshire area and just north of west of Mount Pleasant, through Columbia, through Spring Hill, over to near Chapel Hill. And you see this little fine line of light green and blue out ahead of that. That's the gust front. That's the outflow boundary. That's rain cool air that's rushed out ahead of the thunderstorm. So the storms are actually tucked back in stable air behind the rain cool air that's rushing out, which means that they're not rooted at the surface. That makes it harder for damaging winds to reach down, and it kind of kills the tornado threat with the storms. You can notice on the watch warning map there that's in the lower left-hand corner of the screen that they've actually discontinued the heavy thunderstorm advisories that were in place with these storms across Murray and Marshall counties that were in place for the 40 to 45 mile per hour type wind potential. So they're weakening even beyond that. And we'll put a loop on here for the past 30 minutes just so you can see how they're moving. And the rain cooled air is gradually shifting south, and the storms themselves are shifting south with time, the complex itself, but they're kind of training over each other. So this is turning from a damaging wind threat that's kind of diminishing now. This is more of a heavy rain situation, maybe some localized flooding across the area, some lightning, and then maybe some isolated wind gusts that get up around 30, 40, 45 miles an hour. That's still going to sound loud and scary outside, and that could still knock down some tree limbs or some drought damaged trees, or if you have some dry rotted trees around the area, that can knock down a small one of those. But that's well below severe limits, and there are no severe thunderstorm warnings here. There's certainly no tornado warnings here. And from this line of thunderstorms here that's in southern middle Tennessee, just overall, we don't want to sound the all clear yet, but the threat is just lessening with time, and it's diminishing. I think what's going to happen here over the next couple of hours is this line is just going to slowly sink southward through the rest of southern middle Tennessee. It's over the Highway 412 corridor. Now you see some little development along that gust front just behind it. I think that's going to continue, and it's going to feed into itself. And this will eventually sink down into Hardin County and Wayne County and Lawrence County and Giles County and Lincoln County, where we have a couple of isolated storms running out ahead of it. This will gradually sink in through the early morning through the next few hours. But as it does, it will continue to lose its severe threat, lose its severe characteristics, and it mainly be a heavy rain threat and a lightning threat, and maybe some 30 or 40 mile per hour type winds. But keep in mind, for the storms to be severe, those winds have to be 58 miles per hour or greater, and this really only looks like it might produce 30 or 40, which is loud and it'll get your attention, but it's not severe. Nothing you need to run to the hallway in the storm shelter for, which is certainly good news. Now, I don't think they're going to cancel the tornado watch early until you get back into the rain cool air. They have mentioned that as the line pushes on southward, they will remove counties from the tornado watch. It expires at 3 a.m. I don't think they're going to extend it beyond that because the threat is diminishing. across southern middle Tennessee. However, just because we have the active line of thunderstorms moving through, even though they're not severe, I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on just removing the tornado watch altogether. And just to play it safe, that is the right decision to do, because there can be a surprise every now and then. We don't know everything in the world about the atmosphere, and none of us has been to the future yet to know the outcome. So while we have high confidence in how this is going to play out, we never say never. Now, we play it safe, and that's why I think they will hold the tornado watch in effect until it expires at 3 a.m. And even though I don't expect these storms to go severe, I think for safety's sake, I think that's the right decision. Now, we'll stop looking at these storms. That's the situation in southern middle Tennessee. The one area where we do have some storms that are holding severe characteristics, it's back across North Mississippi, and I'll switch to the Memphis NexRad. I'll turn off the lightning so you can see, and we have this forward surging cluster of thunderstorms moving into the Oxford, Mississippi area now, and this is where there's the potential for damaging straight line wind. And you can see that's moving east to maybe east-southeast. We'll pause this, and it's moving at 40 to 50 miles an hour. So let's see. We'll go 45, and I'll do some little storm track attributes on here. And so the northern edge of that complex would have the potential to reach near Red Bay right around 250 or so, with the potential for straight line winds. However, there is an increasing potential that as this continues to surge forward, instead of continuing this straight motion, it may start to turn more southeastward with time and continue to move into the unstable air. That's not a given, but it's an increasing potential. And there is the potential that this cluster of storms may stay off to the south of our viewing area. However, as it stands now, we'll have to watch it very carefully here over the next few hours. So I think time of arrival in northwest Alabama from this cluster would be near or just before 3 a.m., mainly in Franklin County. We'd have to watch. And then if it continues more eastward, we would watch mainly these areas south of the Tennessee River in our viewing area. That would be Franklin, Lawrence, and Morgan counties in North Alabama. The National Weather Service in Huntsville has mentioned that they'll watch to see if this tries to expand northward to carry a threat for Lauderdale, Colbert, Limestone, and Madison counties in Alabama. So far, have not seen any signs of that, and the earlier model data that kind of hinted at it has backed back away from that idea, so I'm not sure that's going to happen. So I think what's going to occur here is we'll continue to see this cluster of thunderstorms move off to the east or the east-southeast and approach Franklin County, Alabama, or southern Tishomingo County, roughly in that 2:40 to 2:50 a.m. time frame, and then move eastward, and that may continue to be a threat specifically for Franklin, Lawrence, and Morgan counties in North Alabama through about 5 a.m. We'll watch that. There could be a couple severe thunderstorm warnings should that occur. However, even with that, the atmosphere over North Alabama also will continue to get more stable as we go into the early morning hours. Temperatures will gradually ease down. We'll have the capping that's in the atmosphere hold in place because the main upward motion with the storm system that's caused the big severe weather to the north, most of that is staying to the north. So I don't see ingredients getting overly favorable in North Alabama for big-time severe storms. It's just that this complex near Oxford, Mississippi may have the potential to clip a few of our far southern viewing area counties in North Alabama, along and south of the Tennessee River between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. I think that if there's going to be severe storms in our viewing area, I think that's how they would happen. I'm just not guaranteeing that that will happen. That's just the main potential for how something may play out early this morning. The southern middle Tennessee storms, they weakened. They're in rain-cooled air. They're running over themselves. They're weakening with time. I just don't see those going severe. So we'll watch the cluster in North Mississippi. I can't rule out there being a severe thunderstorm watch being issued ahead of that over northeast Mississippi. and across North Alabama that may get issued over the next hour or two. I can't rule that out. But I think overall, unless those storms near Oxford, Mississippi prompt a few warnings in North Alabama, I think overall our risk is lessening as we go through the early morning. So we'll take you back to the watch warning map here, and then we'll end the live update. Still have a tornado watch officially technically in effect until 3 a.m. here for southern middle Tennessee, and for southwest Tennessee, North Mississippi, it runs until 2 a.m. And they may have to extend that a little farther out for North Mississippi instead of issuing a new severe thunderstorm watch. We'll see what they do with that. I do notice that they extended it on across Tupelo and such. They're holding that until 4 a.m. So what's happening now? The tornado watch that was in effect for Hardin and Tishomingo counties in our viewing area, that has now been extended until 4 a.m. And the watch across Middle Tennessee, that still remains in effect until 3 a.m. Still no watch over North Alabama. Got a question mark of whether one will even be needed or not. But if a watch is issued over North Alabama over the next hour or two, it's increasingly likely that it will be a severe thunderstorm watch instead of a tornado watch. We'll continue to watch things very carefully. Our next live scheduled update will be at 2 a.m. And then should we have severe thunderstorm warnings through the morning, we'll have live updates as necessary. And you know our policy. If we have a tornado warning here, which I'm thinking that threat's really diminishing now, but if we happen to have a tornado warning, we'll be live nonstop until the danger is over. Fred Gossage here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Stay with Tennessee Valley Weather. We'll keep you advised.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.